You know, Jay Foreman has that in his phone, right? Like that's his ringtone.
When you start calling me and text me, that's what I'm gonna have.
You made a grown man go.
I would actually start texting you, Jay, if I knew that was your ringtone.
You would?
I would, and I do it late at night so that. Actually, we're not gonna talk there.
No, you are not.
We're done.
No, you are not.
Hey, are you doing too much, Nick?
No, you are not. He's gonna text
I
you.
stopped. I stopped.
Yeah, you're growing. You stopped it, right?
I knew. Yeah. I knew better. I knew it sounded fine in my head, but
yeah, it didn't work out too well.
Once it came out, I was like, wait, hold on.
I'm gonna
slow down. Slow down, player.
I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you hard. What? You doing too much? Slow down, Nick. So
well, let me see what you got, man. Let me see what you got.
I just centered
Well, he needs to see what it looks like.
Centered you.
He needs to see what it looks like. Okay.
I appreciate you being willing to adapt and change.
We'll see how this week goes.
Oh man.
We'll see how this week goes.
I won't lie.
I'm a creature of habit, man.
I understand this could be your new habit. I won't lie.
No.
After the last show, like the 3:00 hour before you got here, I moved the microphone and I thought I'll just set it up for him. Less he has to do.
He did. He said he was thinking of Jay, and so he was.
I appreciate that
kind thing.
What can I say?
You're a nice little gentleman.
You know, him and his Adidas shirt. Yeah.
Slow pitch softball game tonight, guys.
So what's your batting average?
Oh, I don't know. I don't keep stats.
That is such a lie. That is
How do you
such
play
a lie.
sports?
That is such a lie.
How many home runs do you have?
2.
So if you know you have how many home runs you have, you definitely need to know your batting average.
I've only gotten out probably 4 times.
Out of how many?
Oh, geez. Played 8 games. Probably figured 4. So I've been 20 of 24.
Okay, so you do know that.
Well, after I thought about it for a second, yeah. And if I had 3 at bats each game through 8 games.
When you hit a home run, do you do the bat flip or what do you do?
No, Okay, yeah, I do. I throw the ball. I toss the bat a little bit, and then I just walk back to the dugout.
Oh, you don't round the bases?
Yeah, we had this conversation. I don't waste the time because most of the time, I won't lie, we're usually losing. So the quicker we get guys up to the plate,
you can try to come back.
More runs we could score.
So you be running around the bases that slow, like?
Oh, dude, I wish that every time I got on base, I could have a runner.
Cadillac.
I wish I could have a pinch runner.
Cadillac.
I had it in high school and I loved it. And
you that slow, or was you a catcher?
I was a catcher,
okay.
So it's just courtesy runner every time. They tried telling me that it was so that I had time to get my gear on, but like it took me 10 seconds to get gear on, so I knew it was just because I was slow. And they had some dude that wasn't playing. He's like, "You fast? Come run for Nick."
That's pretty much how it worked.
I loved it.
That's how that worked.
Nick, are you going to East Lansing?
No, I'm not.
Why not? Why did you choose Norman and not East Lansing?
Well, Norman just because the game, Oklahoma and Nebraska.
Yeah, but people think this is the biggest game. Just 3 weeks ago, they said Illinois was the biggest game ever. Now this game is the biggest game ever.
The magnitude of this game is growing by the day.
But how? How? The most important game is the next game.
Yeah,
so
I think
the magnitude of the magnitude of every game
grows the week of the game.
No, it's the same. It's win or you die.
That's it. Go 1-0.
Yes, I think part of it also.
Are you stumped? Because you look like you're in deep thought now.
I do think I
tied your little tail.
One thing you'll learn about me is I think a lot. I don't always have the ability to translate my thoughts into clear words.
Right.
But I think a lot. I think what Husker fans are very curious about this weekend is if they can build off of last weekend.
Right. But didn't they think that after the Buffalo win?
Yeah, and I think that a lot of Husker fans would agree that just because the score didn't show up the way that or lean in Nebraska's way on Saturday, it was still a quality performance on Saturday.
Right. So why would they need it? So they need it 3 times then.
Well,
to be well, here's what I'm asking.
I don't think you put a number on it.
When is the questioning going to stop? Because your
guess is as good as mine.
Because normally what'll happen around here Everybody going this season with the schedule will win. If you win 6 games and go to a bowl game, that's a successful season. Next year, it'll be like you got to win 10, right? So everybody kind of moves the goal line or the goalpost. We won't say goalpost considering of what happened on Saturday. We'll say people keep moving the pylon for the goal line. So I'm just asking. I mean, look, it's a huge game because you're playing on the road against a ranked team. It's the opportunity to, have a big victory. But when you're playing the Big Ten, every game is huge because it's going to be so tightly contested every single week. Even though, like, I was like, number 5 or whatever they are right now, they're not going to be able to take a week off. So they could lose to Purdue if they don't come to play. So that's why I always ask, like, everybody's like, oh, this is the biggest game. No, it's a big game, but it's not going to make a break. I think people are just looking for stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the business we're in.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, it's the business you're in, but it seems the business around here, especially with some of the fan base, I wouldn't say all the fan base, is like I said, you're going to talk about stuff, but you're going to talk about it with the hopes that it doesn't work out. And you're going to go to a game and cheer supposedly for a team and hope it doesn't work out.
Do you really?
That's the honest to God truth.
Okay, but so I'll ask then. Do you think can you think of any media people who cover Nebraska who root against Nebraska?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You really do.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's an interesting
That's
way
deep.
to look at it. Yeah.
That's deep.
Oh yeah.
Like I've never.
They do better work when Nebraska's struggling versus when Nebraska's doing good. Oh,
I can. Okay, I can agree with that one because it'll blow up.
Oh yeah,
rapidly.
No, but wouldn't they do better work if Nebraska was undefeated?
You would like to think so, but I don't know if it'd be. Everybody is always trying to find something wrong with the product. So even in the situation of an undefeated Huskers team, they're still going to figure out, and I think maybe Jay was trying to talk about this a little bit earlier, is that they're still going to try to find something within the program, whether it's coaching staff, whether it's player personnel that's going wrong and that needs to be fixed.
But yeah, there's people that cover that hope that Nebraska doesn't win.
See, I would imagine
and the funny thing is they're on some pretty big time slots. I don't know, what do you call them, stations?
Yeah.
They were the station or whatever they're on.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's some people out there. There's people out there, guys.
Okay.
There's some people out there.
Okay.
We could get pretty deep in this.
Yeah.
There's people that write for some pretty big organizations that do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll ask this then, because I have to look at it, and I'll preface it a little bit by saying since I've moved around in the country, whatever town I was in, I rooted for that team.
Sure.
Like I've never found any personal benefit and value to rooting against the team I cover or a team that was in the space that I was in. Because I know, one, you want the people in your town to be happy.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's much more fun to live in a town where your team is winning.
Right.
Like, and I don't know of any town that I've ever been in that was better when they lost. Now, I do know that there are people who like starting fires and who like watching stuff burn.
Right.
All of that is true. I just find it weird in sports. So it makes me look at the people you're talking about and go, okay, that makes that like dude like shady. That makes him a shady dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you're playing Illinois and you're like, this is the biggest game in the program's history or recent history. I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me. Champaign, Illinois, I mean, it's not the most important game in the most recent history of Nebraska. It's the first one. You're not going to really be able to draw a conclusion off the first game, regardless of win or lose. You know what I mean? Because we can all play what if, right? And at the end of the day, our record is 2-2. But let's just say Nebraska went up to Illinois and beat the brakes off them. Mm-hmm. Right? It's going to be like, oh, that's what they should have done. Illinois is garbage. They got a new coach. There's a reason why they got a new coach. Blah, blah, blah.
Right?
Realistically, Nebraska went up there and beat themselves. Then it's the same old stuff. So at the end of the day, you're getting to the same conclusion.
Well, that's why I kind of, and people get mad at me when I say, well, just go 1-0. Like, that's all I really care about.
Right, because you can't. There's an old saying: you can't go and dig up dead bodies and make them alive again. You know what I mean? You can't go and change what happened last week. You can learn from last week.
That part.
And there's a difference between losing and learning.
Right.
And I don't really think people really understand that. Now, granted, I don't know how many years into it or whatever, and people are impatient. Heck, I'm impatient. You know, everybody. You know, I think we're in the lifestyle of instant, getting everything instant, right? I mean, heck, you could order food and still do your job and get it delivered here in 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, so that makes things a little bit unrealistic. And some of the complaints are, I don't know, factual or justified or whatever, maybe have some, tread to it or whatever, however you want to describe it. But some of it, I think, is here's what people don't understand. And I learned this playing professional football. And I was fortunate enough to, when I played for Buffalo, we had Doug Flutie, we had Hall of Fame players. I was fortunate enough to somehow be sandwiched in. It was the weirdest locker room deal. It must have been like, this dude's a late 5th round pick. Who knows if he's going to be here. Bruce Smith might want an extra locker. He already had 2. He might want 3. So they had Bruce Smith on the left, and he had 2 lockers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then me, and it seemed like my locker was smaller.
Of course it was.
Right? It was like
absolutely.
It was like the auxiliary locker, right? That was my locker, and then Thurman Thomas, he had 2. But sitting in between them 2 and just hear them talk to each other, and I was like just dodging out of the way, getting out of the way, but I would be there and listening and learning. You learn a lot of stuff about the media or the media business in professional sports, and learn how to read between the lines and listen between the airwaves, I guess, right? And so when you come here and you kind of I can draw back on when we were playing and look back on it, and then look at it how it is now and how things have changed. You can definitely look at people differently and how they're covering their team. So, and I'm not saying, listen here, here's what I'm not saying. When Nebraska, like the last year's game against Illinois or whatever, and you kind of laid an egg, I'm not saying you need to get on, cover it and be like, that was a great game, right? I'm not saying I can watch it. I mean, anybody, they'll tell you that was the eyesore of the season, right?
Trash is trash.
And that's great. But the energy that you cover those games with, I can take note and watch and see where you at, what you're actually doing and what you're actually meaning. Because here's what people also don't understand. Fans are generally going to get their information because they're able to be at work and listen to podcasts, right? 93.7 The Ticket, get on there and download all the podcasts, even Nick and Big Sky for Saturday and so forth and so on and blah, 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 right? Shameless plug for you right there. Oh, the Babyface Gangster.
Every day at 2 p.m.
Every day at 2 p.m. Get all your podcasts. So you're able to get this. So they're getting their information and ideas based off what you're saying and your writing, right? You know what I'm saying? And what you're saying when you are a print guy that's getting on the radio or TV, blah, so forth and so on. So that's how they're getting their information. And then when they're at their, I don't know, what do you call it, man cave in the garage and all that, then they're circulating that information, right? And then that information is circulated to 5 more people. That's how it's like remember that little thing that you could in school where you talked about how,
pass it down
and pass information. You're too young for that, Nick. You were working on computers when you were in school. So, that's how it goes. But, to be honest with you, this game is a big game. It's a tremendous challenge. It's a different challenge. It's a challenge that Nebraska should be suited for. And again, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it. Nebraska's biggest opponent is the guys that are practicing down at, was it One Stadium Drive or whatever it is? I should know the address. One Stadium, just say it.
Kinda.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing.
Like your name is there.
So, but I don't get down there that much. So,
you do too. Stop saying it.
I don't get down
Stop
there
it.
I didn't hang out black shirts. They handed out black shirts today.
Yeah, like
I don't
GPS.
I don't get down there as much as you guys
your
think.
GPS is just your GPS.
Once or twice a week.
We have a caller, Jay's GPS. It says
Yeah, you know they record all that, right?
right.
And
So,
JB was like, "Hey Jay, we was just there."
but,
every time you get in the car, your phone just the maps pop up and go
go
Stadium
home.
Drive.
That's home. Right, yeah.
Are you going to the
Yeah.
stadium?
Because every day at 8 a.m. you head that way.
No, I do not. And so
Matter of fact, his GPS takes him to his parking spot.
I wish. I wish, because the few times that I'm down there, they be. I swear, the people on campus, they wait for the minute, and then they trying to put a ticket on your car. The 1 minute they trying to make that money back from COVID like ASAP.
It's okay. So the text line asks this question: is it wrong to ask who do we need to stop listening to?
No,
Don't want to support bad media. We love this program. So, okay,
that's probably a little bit too far. I don't think anybody that's doing their job is bad. I just think they have, like I said, you can watch a game and already kind of write the script in your head how the game comes out regardless of the outcome.
then they shouldn't do the job. If
Right.
that's why I don't do prognostications. That's why I don't do it, because it's a lie. First of all, it's a lie. You're not being true to why you're supposed to be doing this.
Right. But I'm just saying that, I mean, that's just the way, but that's this modern media today, these days, right?
Well, that's not
like
media,
what's the dude
That's not
that
media.
that's the scorned girlfriend that dated somebody in high school and still talking about the guy that they
There's
dated?
a bunch of
it
them,
Brett
like-
McMurphy.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
yeah.
you still tweeting about Nebraska and nothing happened. So but you're still trying to do it. Right?
Because Nebraska fans give him attention when he does it.
But true,
Like,
but
stop,
he's a big
stop.
enough guy that no matter what happens, he's still gonna cover it with his own lens.
Does it this is what I asked the question Friday. Does any Nebraska fan care what Brett McMurphy thinks about this team?
Oh, probably not. I'm just giving an example of somebody that's covering, like, just say Predator. If Nebraska went like, I don't know, like 8-4, right? Say they went 8-4.
Okay.
I guarantee you either not hear from him, or he would mention something to kind of.
They should have won 9.
Right. Or
They should have won 9.
well, it's 8-4, but it might not count because you might be on like probation because you compliance.
But what would your dad say about somebody who was telling lies about you?
Oh, I never
Like they
listened
said,
to
baby,
anything.
they lie about Jesus. What makes you think they're gonna lie about Nebraska football?
Right.
Right. So right, like
But that's not like how everybody usually thinks though. But all I'm saying is, like, when you're in this job and this is your job and this is what you do, you guys do whatever you got to do. Don't always look for something just to tag your name with.
Yeah, I mean, too much,
because it's the easiest thing to do right now. It's the easiest thing to do, to watch it and draw a snippet of conclusion and then lay it on a piece of bread like butter or mayonnaise.
For those who like butter or mayonnaise.
Yeah, on your sandwich.
Well,
what you like on your sandwich, Nick?
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise?
Oh, he's
are you a
mayonnaise.
Miracle Whip or a regular mayonnaise?
Big question, Nick. Big question, Nick.
Are you still thinking it's A or B?
Hellman's.
That's
It's
real
like
man. That's mayonnaise.
Yeah, Hellman's. Yeah, I like
because
Hellman's.
the Miracle Whip is called Miracle Whip.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what I have in the fridge right now.
So in college, I was a Miracle Whip dude.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
And now I'm mayonnaise.
Right, and then it takes.
I don't know if there's a difference. Is there a difference?
Oh, there is. There is sugar. It's all, Miracle Whip is it's like crack. It's like, oh, how much sugar is in it? So as men, as you get older, there are women that come along that correct certain dumb things that you do, that you've done your whole life. I had a girlfriend, ex-girlfriend was like, you're eating crack, right? You're just... I was like, no, I'm not. Yes, I am. Okay, I'll stop. That's usually how how
Miracle
it
Whip
works.
is no joke.
That is just, oh man, somebody tried it once with tuna. I was like, no, I'm done. It's a wrap. So, all right, let's throw it a break. Old school, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're gonna eat pizza from Casey's and watch the football games. Yeah, enjoy the season with delicious Casey's pizza. 2 tasty pizzas for big game days.
Now at Casey's, you can get 2 large single-topping pizzas with delicious made-from-scratch dough for $9.99 each with promo code DOUBLE.
Casey's here for good. Yeah.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
We'll see mostly sunny skies and cool conditions here for our Tuesday, topping out at around 72. A north-northwest wind at around 10 to 15. Clear and a bit chilly tonight. We'll drop down to 43 for the low. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, staying rather cool with a high of 71. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now that Ken Richards has purchased Broker's Agency, he and his professional staff will continue to provide their clients with the same excellent service under the Broker's Insurance Agency name. Broker's Insurance Agency works with more than 15 companies to help find the best policy for you to avoid any long hassles. Also, if you're looking to get into the insurance business as an independent agent, they have the formula to make that process smooth and successful. Call Ken with Broker's Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 or visit brokersinsurancene.com. Deck City is Lincoln's DIY deck headquarters. With real deck professionals, they can help you throughout the entire process. They also offer financing for qualified customers. Deck City offers the best quality materials so you have a deck built to last. There's everything from Yellowwood lumber to the best quality TimberTech composites on the market and high quality aluminum railings by Westbury or Diamond Piers for easy footing install. For those looking to bring your wood deck back to life, they offer good proof ready seal stain. Deck City, your deck material headquarters, is now open Saturdays from 9 to 1, 2 blocks north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
At Madonna Therapy Plus, your health and safety is our first priority. Whether you're recovering from a minor sprain or a complex medical condition, our therapy experts can help relieve pain and increase mobility in an environment that adheres to enhanced safety guidelines. Therapy Plus is open in Omaha and Lincoln for comprehensive physical, speech, and occupational therapy, all with enhanced in-person safety plus new telehealth options. So don't let wellness wait. Learn more and schedule an appointment at therapyplus.madonna.org.
Keep your home comfort system running efficiently with ESP from Bryant. Get total system checks twice each year and never pay overtime on service calls. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Toys and sports collectibles, 6200 Havelock Avenue.
Hi, I'm Kevin with Sports Fantastic.
And I'm Daryl at Stop and Shop Funko Pop.
We have 2 of the best collectible stores in the coolest place in Lincoln, in historic Havelock by Misty's. Sports Fantastic has tons of sports memorabilia for Huskers and other hard-to-find teams.
And Stop and Shop Funko Pop has all your Funko and anime needs. It's your one-stop shop on one block at 6200 Havelock.
6200 Havelock Avenue.
Tailgating is back, and Sartor Heyman Jewelers is offering a deal that'll really fire you up. Receive a free Traeger grill with a purchase of $2,500 or more. Take advantage of interest-free financing with no money down. Sartor Heyman has dazzling jewelry in every price range, so buy her the diamonds she's been dreaming of and get instantly rewarded with a free Traeger grill. Offer ends soon, so hurry in and get them while they're hot. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Take your time, young man. What used to say.
Damn.
Welcome back, Jay Foreman. Nick stated, Old School. Again, most of the conversations that we have off air really are fascinating and inappropriate. So we will say that in advance and go through and let you know.
The best part is I always have to worry about, or not worry necessarily, just wait for the time to turn on the mics. Because just at that point, Jay just goes, "Damn!"
And Jay is always one beat behind.
Yeah,
like
that's
Jay
why I
is
gotta wait.
always one beat too early.
That's why I gotta wait, because it's just damn.
Yeah, and Jay will just like, because yesterday Jay goes, "Yeah, chicken," and then we were live, and I was like, "It's like, what is going on?" Jay Foreman, you gotta wait for the light. We have Sailor Rico. Sailor Rico is on the line, wants to talk to him from the Honda Lincoln hotline. How you doing today, bro?
Hey, DP, doing well. Jay, first of all, my apologies that your inaugural debut on the worldwide fantastic Big Red Reaction did not go as planned. I hope that they can get the technical issues resolved, and hopefully Matt will invite you back, or however that works, because I'd definitely love to hear you on Big Red Reaction. Is that still in the works?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
That's Jay's answer.
Yeah, I don't know yet, man.
Jay's answer.
I don't really have it. Let me tell you something, Sailor Rico. These cats don't understand how real life is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, my number one job is to deal with Tuesday. Okay. I look Tuesday dead in the face and try to dominate Tuesday. They try to get it. They try to plan stuff Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I got to deal with Tuesday. I start worrying about Saturday, about Friday night, about 10:30 p.m. So I don't know yet. If you check back if you check back Friday, I have a more definite answer for you.
Okay, well,
most likely, yes.
I'm excited if that happens. You know, that's a great show. Everybody calls in. They're all drunk. They do their best Foster Brooks imitations and make their complaints legal. Hey, I do have a question for you.
All right.
For all of you, actually. And I want you to go back to the second quarter of the game, right? And there's about 30 seconds left. We had a couple timeouts. Oklahoma had one timeout, and they had the ball. They were up 7-3. Okay, so set the table that way. They ran a play, and I was waiting for them to call their timeout. But what happened was, and I didn't see that. I was listening to the radio. I didn't see it on the TV. All of a sudden, Frost calls a timeout and stops the game. And I'm thinking to myself, why did he do that? That basically gave them a free timeout. What I was told on Monday was that the people that saw the game said our defense wasn't right. They didn't have the right people on the field, or they weren't lined up right, or whatever. My question is, if that were true, isn't that on the coach and their 2-minute offense, right? So you're not going to be able to substitute anyway. So why wouldn't you have the right personnel on the field to begin with, guys? That's my question. Going to hang up and listen. Thank you so much.
I'm going to leave that to you, Jay Foreman.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's just, I mean, sometimes, you know, you don't keep the same personnel for the 2-minute drive. You know, some teams start out in base personnel. Some people start out in, you know, offensively, they might have 3 wides. They might get in a tight end or something like that. And plus, when you get, you know, down to the nitty gritty, you don't want to give up a cheap score and lose momentum going into halftime, especially, you know, when we were getting the ball coming out at halftime. So, you know, nothing's wrong. I didn't see anything wrong with it. You want to make sure the last thing you want to do is sit on a timeout and thinking that, you know, kind of play against the clock, call a timeout, make sure everybody's on the same page of communication, because that is crucial time of the game in that game, right? To go in and not give up, you know, a cheap touchdown. And here's what I would also say, and this is I guess it's not apples to apples comparison, but it's pretty darn close. So I don't know what's close to an apple. Is last year against Ohio State, you know, kind of the game kind of got out of hand right before halftime, right? Whereas this game, you know, we got the control going into halftime. So, you know, you talk about, you know, where, you know, if you improvement or whatever, at least that's, you know, comparable. So I didn't see anything wrong with it. You know, it all worked itself out. It wasn't like an egregious, like, clock mismanagement like the guy from the Cowboys or anything like that. So you're trying to make sure that you have the right personnel based on what they're in, or the right personnel based on what call you're going to call. So, so, you know, there's nothing wrong with it.
What's the bridge between a coordinator and then the sideline group head, right? Somebody sees something up top, they call it down. Hey, I saw a thing. Like they're in cover 2. We're going to attack underneath. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
And I'm not speaking specific to Nebraska. I'm talking about
not on the I'm not in there.
Football in general,
right? Yeah, but like for Nebraska, I'm not in there enough to kind of like know how the operation works, right? The only thing I can think of is when I played in the NFL. You'd get those instant seem like photos. So every team kind of either have your coordinator. You have a certain amount of coach. You see it like when you watch NFL. You see like heck when the Chiefs play the Ravens. They had the Ravens offensive Greg Roman offensive coordinator. He's up top, so there's got to be another coach up there because Greg Roman generally is not his head down, but he's kind of like taking a peek at the game and see how that play goes. Somebody's saying, okay, it's 2nd and 10, or say 2nd and 6 after 1st and 10, and then he's trying to get a call down. He calls the call down. Somebody signals an end. Then I'm sure they have a spotter or somebody up there that's either working with offense or defense to say, hey, they're running say like they're a cover 3 team and they run a lot of cover 2, and a half. And then maybe you want to try to, change it, or if they make an adjustment to something that you had thought that they were originally going to do. So that's how we did it in the pros. But in the pros, it's easier because you get those. Now they have like iPads or something.
And you only have X number of players in the pros.
Right. And so, it's just like with a backup quarterback. He's out there looking as almost a coach. So when the starter's coming over, they're both looking at the film or whatever, the snapshots, and making sure that they're on the same page. So it just kind of depends on how they operate stuff or how the operation goes. Some coordinators like being down on the field. Some like being up top. And some guys change, and some position coaches like being up, and some don't.
There's a million things that happen in that case. Let's say you've got a coordinator upstairs, you got coaching groups on the sideline. Players are supposed to report. They come off the field, they should report to their group.
Yeah, you always check in,
right? Yeah. You check in, but a million things can happen. You could have somebody who goes straight to the bench, who took a shot to the head, and as they're sitting on the bench, the team doctor sees them under duress and says, go, we're putting you under the tent. And then you call a play for that player because you don't know that he's unavailable. And then it's like, oh crap, we have a blocking tight end in the game instead of our pass receivers.
Sure.
We got a problem. Will this work? No, it won't work. Okay, then we need to call timeout or at least get new personnel on the field if you have time. And if you don't, that happens almost every play.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So in some plays you can't get personnel in because you want to get to that play so they can't switch defenses or vice versa.
And seeing the personnel come on the field will do that.
Yeah. And if you keep the same one, or sometimes you can run a play with the same personnel or with a different personnel just to attack like a certain player. Say like a corner goes down. Notoriously in the NFL, a corner gets hurt, the new guy comes in. Within like a series or two, they're going to try to take you up top.
Gotta go.
So it's just a matter of that's adjusting in the game. It's gamemanship. It's all that stuff. So, the operation is based on, what they've done before that's been successful and what people, I guess, are, do better at. Some coaches are better being down on the field, kind of feeling the energy or whatever. And then some coaches are better, being up in the stands.
There's certain plays that that whatever the personnel group next to that or the next play call is going to be chaos. Turnover, fumble, somebody gets hard hit,
right?
Big scramble, pile on, and you got guys digging at the bottom, punching each other. The player who got hit hard enough to be dinged, but he's under the pile.
Right.
If you come up with the ball offensively, you need a replacement player. Like you have to. As a matter of fact, even if he's not hurt, you probably want the dude who just put it on the ground out of the game. Like you're going to replace him. Defensively, if your offense is over getting coached, they're not paying attention to the field.
No, most likely not.
Right. And then, turnover offense. And then 10 dudes run out because one's in or 9 dudes run out because one's in under the tent. The other one is going to the bathroom behind a towel.
Right.
And
but that's the whole point of just because you're not starting, I guess you have to be locked into the game because you might need to just go in the game for a play or two. So you can't just sit over there and just kind of, I got the best seat in the house and I'm thinking about where I'm going after the game and I'm number 2 or 3 on the depth chart. You could go from 3 to 1 real quick.
Are you saying sir, that you have been on sidelines where post-game party discussions have been had?
No, I don't think, none that I would have been involved. I'm just saying you can't be over there just lollygagging and like daydreaming.
Look,
because somebody could, get hurt, pop a hamstring, have a bad series of plays, or they just might need you in the game.
If you're injured, let me ask you, when you were injured, so in a game, before the game played, you were injured, you knew you weren't going to play. Would you rather be on the sideline or would you rather be like up somewhere watching it?
It kind of depends if I was mobile. Like when I got injured, I couldn't move, so I was a sitting duck for a play coming off. I had to be upstairs.
Right.
If I was like a little shoulder injury or something like that, and especially say like a rookie was playing or somebody that hadn't been playing, I'll be on the sideline because I want him to do well.
So you're coaching?
Yeah, I'm gonna lend any little knowledge I got to him and try to help him out because I've been in that position before.
So I'll ask you this. Then let's say that there's your linebacker coach and he's at the 30-yard line. Your replacement runs off the sideline. You're at the opposite 40. What's the rule on him talking to you versus him running straight to the coach to get intel? Because he may run because you will give him comfort, right? And you'll tell him what's up.
Well, you're gonna let the coach do his job. Are you talking about now, or are you talking about it?
I'm talking about it when you were playing.
Oh, and I was injured, or hurt. You always let the coach do the job because we all went over there. So once the series was over, the linebackers were huddled here, the defensive line would be huddled, to the right, and linebackers are generally in the middle. Defensive backs were generally to the left, and the D line was to the right. Obviously, always closest to the Gatorade. So, because they would sit on the Gatorade, coolers. Brother go over there famished and parched. We couldn't get any Gatorade, because they drank all the Gatorade. They up there got Gatorade on and they mustache. And stuff.
Who drinks all the Gatorade? The dude's not playing.
Exactly.
The dude's not playing.
They used to drink Gatorade like it was Kool-Aid. So that's the way it usually goes. And so when you're hurt, you're just over there trying to just be a confidant, just to kind of encourage another set of eyes. It's no different. The only thing is no different being a backup and the starter comes out and you're both conversing about what's out there.
Lead trash talker. See, I know that Jay Foreman talked trash when he was on the sideline.
What do you mean?
Like, so you over there, let's say the Music City Miracle, you're on the sideline, but you're Gear, right?
Yeah.
I'm, what's the phrase?
I would have tripped homeboy if he ran back. I would have tripped him, man. I would have pulled that Mike Tomlin out on him, but I would have tripped him and let them decide if they were going to give him a touchdown or not.
See, Nick, here's the question, though. Did Jay see the play from up close on the sideline, or was he in the back making plans for what they was going to do after the win?
I will say this. I will say this. I was inactive that game.
Uh-huh.
And here's the crazy thing about the NFL. I was all slated to play, but we had one offensive lineman get the flu, so he's out.
Mm-hmm.
We had another one that got hurt in practice, so he couldn't play. So they had to bring a guy out from practice squad to the active roster and then play a guy that hadn't played all year or suit him up. So that means me and Keith Newman, who were starting on all the special teams, had to go down and be inactive.
Whoops.
So we were over there, and in around that game, there was a lot of, I guess, drama because Doug Flutie had won 10 games. Rob Johnson played in the last game of the season where none of the starters played, call it like a throw-off game, and had threw for 200 yards and went like 11.
Yeah, he had like 6 touchdowns on 11 throws.
Yeah, like 11 of 14, 3 TDs, and Mr. Wilson, Ralph Wilson, called down and made the call. Rob Johnson starting, and our offense was kind of, just doing enough to win. And our we weren't as explosive as we were the year before, but Doug Flutie won 10 games, so he was 10 and we were 10-5.
Flutie was balling.
Right, he was just a gamer. So
Flutie Flakes.
Rob ended up starting. We end up sputtering against Tennessee Titans to bring in Doug Flutie. He drives us right down the field. We get the lead of the game. And so who would ever think that that's going to happen? So me and Keith Newman were over there because we weren't making that much money, so the playoff checks were like
Nick
bonus.
Nick, ask him how much.
With my rookie year, I think we made like $50,000.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, but you're
like, did you hear him just say, "Well, we weren't making that much money in the play"? Like this is extra
$50,000 base salary, and when you're paying New York state taxes and you're living in Buffalo, New York, is not a lot of money. You get because you're living in Buffalo.
That's the median for the entire population of Buffalo.
Not necessarily. So, anyways, this is our first time, thinking about playoff checks. So we're like, oh, once you play that game, you got the playoff check for that one.
You get another $75,000 for the next game.
Oh, I wish. No,
over $60,000 for round 2, and then the championship game.
No, it's not even that. It was $5,000 for the wild card game.
Okay.
Then it's $10,000 for you're thinking Super Bowl. So then it's $10,000 for the next game. So me and Keith were over there. Right? This is funny. We're like, oh yeah, we got this. We got our first playoff check. He's like, yeah, we're just gonna keep that, and then we're gonna save the next one, but we're gonna take the first playoff check. He's like, we're gonna go down to Atlanta and ball out of control or as much as we can because the Super Bowl was down there. Man, that playoff check was doing the next round was dwindling him down as he was going up the sideline.
Well, you just watched.
I just watched $10,000 roll down the sideline. The messed up part about it is the special teams coach wanted to kick it deep. The head coach said to squib it. That play set up for a squib. If you kick it, we've been covering kicks all year, so if we kick it deep, and we matched up well with the Rams.
I just wanted to hear they've covered a whole lot of that game ad infinitum, but what I want, we'll throw the break as soon as I get done because we're running late. But what I wanted to hear was audio of the Bills sideline as he was running down the side. Like, okay,
but we'll put silence on here, and that's what the locker room was for 5 minutes. Nobody wanted to speak because you didn't want to be that guy.
We'll throw it back. We'll pick it up. It'll be a quick break. We'll listen to the Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drivewise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
At Mountain Dew, we support the best and baddest disaster relief group in America, Team Rubicon. To show our support of Team Rubicon, Mountain Dew put in $1 million. And now you can help Team Rubicon too. Look for specially marked Team Rubicon bottles of Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Enter for a chance to win weekly prizes at MountainDewTR.com and donate to Team Rubicon. You'll earn exclusive rewards when you do. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 and older. Subject to rules at MountainDewTR.com. Ends 10/3/2020.
Deck City is Lincoln's DIY deck headquarters. With real deck professionals, they can help you throughout the entire process. They also offer financing for qualified customers. Deck City offers the best quality materials so you have a deck built to last. There's everything from yellowwood lumber to the best quality TimberTech composites on the market and high quality aluminum railings by West Ferry or Diamond Piers for easy footing install. For those looking to bring your wood deck back to life, they offer good proof ready seal stain. Deck City, your deck material headquarters, is now open Saturdays from 9 to 1, 2 blocks north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
What are you doing, Sip? I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives. So you're building what exactly? It's a motion censored switchboard. Duh. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Of course. Oh, God. Ow. Seems like a job for a professional. Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there. Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. Right now, they have tons of Oktoberfest beers, and you can check out their new Empyrean, New Belgium, and Prost selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage shop at 1801 Oak Street. Is your kitchen outdated and in need of a facelift? Kitchen Tune-Up in Lincoln specializes in 1 to 5 day kitchen updates. A 1-day tune-up is like taking your car to get detailed, and a 5-day job can tear out cabinets and put in new ones, and they work on both kitchens and bathrooms. You don't need to worry about a long, drawn-out process that leaves your house a mess for months. It's simply 1 to 5 days with these services. Call Jason at Kitchen Tune-Up today at 402-340-0008 or go to kitchentune-up.com for more info.
Toys and sports collectibles, 6200 Havelock Avenue.
Hi, I'm Kevin with Sports Fantastic.
And I'm Daryl at Stop and Shop Funko Pop.
We have two of the best collectible stores in the coolest place in Lincoln in historic Havelock by Misty's. Sports Fantastic has tons of sports memorabilia for Huskers and other hard-to-find teams.
And Stop and Shop Funko Pop has all your Funko and anime needs. It's your one-stop shop on one block at 6200 Havelock.
6200 Havelock Avenue.
Double espresso for Matt, large ice mocha for Greg, $2,022 for Katie. Oh, oops.
Everybody's mind is on the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball's Rockin' 15 promotion. Until September 25th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter for a chance to be one of 15 to win $2,022 and a chance to win $1 million.
Sorry for the mix-up, Katie. Here's your latte.
Forget the coffee. Where's my $2,022?
Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone. And Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 2nd. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up, and if you mention the ticket, you'll get a 50% discount. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting October 2nd with 2 locations in Lincoln.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Nick Sainert. In high school basketball, Creighton Prep forward Luke Younger's committed to UNO on Sunday. Back on the football field on Friday night, number 1 Bellevue West fell at home to Millard South 42-24. In the first half alone, Millard South scored touchdowns of 16, 60, 65, and 70 yards, and only allowed 7 Thunderbird points in the second half. Lincoln Southeast lost on the road at number 6 Creighton Prep 41-7. Prep running back Charmar Brown led all ball carriers with 12 carries and 87 yards while finding the end zone twice. On the other side, Husker football commit Jake Applegate had 8 receptions for 131 yards and a score for Lincoln Southeast. And lastly, in Class B action, Norris hosted Omaha Roncalli on Friday evening. The Titans were able to get on top early and never looked back, topping Roncalli 44-0 and improving to 2-2 on the season. Norris moves on to face Beatrice this Friday night. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Do the Titans have a miracle left in them in what has
go.
been a magical season to this point?
Here the
If
hell
they
y'all
do, they
go.
need it now. Christie kicks it high and short. Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Yeah, give it Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson. He's got something. 30, He's got 40, something. 50. He's got it. 40. He's got it. 20. 10. He's got it. 5, end zone. Touchdown Titans. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle. Tennessee has pulled a miracle.
Mr. Foreman.
What's wrong with y'all, man? What on God's green earth is wrong with y'all? Do not ever play that again.
I want
ever
like an honest how you felt about it. Like
I can't even say it on the air.
Like, you know,
I can't say it without cussing.
There's no.
That's probably that's the first time I've ever. First of all, I've never watched that game.
Oh,
Never.
I imagine so.
Never watched that game. Well, one, I didn't play, but I mean, it's it was
It's
a
still
hard
your
loss.
team.
Yeah, and I've never heard that until today. People always ask me about what was it like. I was like, I just want to do. What the hell you think it was like? You know what I mean? We're on the wrong side of history.
Well, And was that the only time you were on the wrong side of history that you can think
to
of?
that magnitude?
To that
that was a Super Bowl team. We had beat the brakes off the Rams, and the Tennessee Titans ends up going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you did kind of match up well. Did you go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I was down there. I was down there at the party the night.
Okay, stop it. Stop.
Hold on. I was at the
Atlanta
Athletic Club when Bruce Smith had the party. Here, I'm going to tell this story since you just want to go ahead and do it. Here's a funny thing about it, man.
We have to take a break.
Hold it. No.
We got to go
top
to break.
of the hour. Right there. We'll go to break. As soon as you come back, you tell that story because I know it's a smoke show. You listen to the Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Double espresso for Matt, large ice mocha for Greg, $2,022 for Katie. Oh, oops.
Everybody's mind is on the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball's Rockin' 15 promotion. Until September 25th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter for a chance to be one of 15 to win $2,022 and a chance to win $1 million.
Sorry for the mix-up, Katie. Here's your latte.
Forget the coffee. Where's my $2,022?
Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Nick Sainers. In high school basketball, Creighton Prep forward Luke Younger's committed to UNO on Sunday. Back on the football field on Friday night, number 1 Bellevue West fell at home to Millard South 42-24. In the first half alone, Millard South scored touchdowns of 16, 60, 65, and 70 yards, and only allowed 7 Thunderbird points in the second half. Lincoln Southeast lost on the road at number 6 Creighton Prep 41-7. Prep running back Charmar Brown led all ball carriers with 12 carries and 87 yards while finding the end zone twice. On the other side, Husker football commit Jake Applegate had 8 receptions for 131 yards and a score for Lincoln Southeast. And lastly, in Class B action, Norris hosted Omaha Roncalli on Friday evening. The Titans were able to get on top early and never looked back, topping Roncalli 44-0 and improving to 2-2 on the season. Norris moves on to face Beatrice this Friday night. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air. Get into T.O. Haas Tire and get your vehicle set for any road with the all-new BF Goodrich Trail Terrain TA tire. And get ready to save, because right now you can get $70 back after online submission when you buy a set of 4. Or get $50 back with the purchase of any other set of 4 BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. See redemption instructions at tohostire.com. Offer expires October 4th, 2021. Void where prohibited. T.O. Haas
Tire and Auto, a tradition of trust.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket sports news go now.
I'm Enrique Alvarez-Clary. Nebraska football travels to East Lansing, Michigan on Saturday for a late-night matchup with the Spartans. For the first time this season, the Huskers will play under the lights, which is cause for a schedule change for Nebraska.
We'll push meetings back. We'll get them up in the morning and do something physical to try to get them going a little bit. And coaches don't like the night games. It's a lot of sitting around in a hotel, but the environment's going to be special. I've been up there before for a night game, and it's a pretty special environment. So I know our guys are going to be able to feed off that and have a lot of juice, and looking forward to the challenge.
That game kicks off at 6 p.m. and can be seen on FS1. News on the injury front for the Huskers football team. It was announced yesterday that freshman running back Gabe Ervin Jr. will miss the rest of the season after injuring his knee against Oklahoma. In Major League Baseball, the Kansas City Royals took both games of their doubleheader against the Cleveland Indians 7-2 and then 4-2. In Game 2, Royals catcher Salvador Perez hit his 46th home run of the season, breaking Johnny Bench's record for most home runs in a single season by a catcher. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour number 2 on 93.7 The Ticket. Old School, Jay Foreman and Nick Sainer. Myself, I apologize to Nick's parents for the conversations that he has to listen to during the break.
It's a growing experience, Nick.
Like, Nick is just like...
Nick is a sponge over here.
I'm learning.
Nick, he was clean shaven before the show started.
Nick gonna have one of those color me bad beards by the time we get done with him.
Oh, man. He was just like he was looking at us just now like, what is going on?
I never heard a story like that one.
You haven't? Dang. Well, at least you heard it. You don't want to experience a story like that.
Yeah,
I hope that would never happen.
Yeah, that dude was on the news.
I know
10,
now to be
11,
careful. I know now.
10 and 11 at night, and then like the very next morning.
Yeah,
like imagine it's 6 a.m.
6 a.m. drive time.
Like
good morning.
Guess what happened?
Yeah, we got breaking news.
No, in case you missed it.
Last night, we gonna wake you up in the morning with this breaking news.
And he was the team's captain. It was like it was a fan. Oh my god! And it was just like, dude, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say. I'm like, so you know the scene from Boomerang when Eddie Murphy and David Allen Greer realized his parents were in the bathroom going at it, and Eddie just looked at him and he's just like,
just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
You need a hug. That's all it was. All right. So Super Bowl in Atlanta. I know this is another story.
How do we just move on from that? I don't know, man.
Oh no, I can. Okay. I can't, because I can't do that to him, because he will hear this and he's still like 300 pounds. So I'm probably not really trying to deal with that.
Well, I don't want him coming after me.
Right, so. like just maybe one night it'll be the Ticket After Dark, and we will tell all these secrets. Like we will tell all the stories that we could tell. Man, yeah, wow. Like I can't even tell that story. There's zero way for me to tell that story on air.
No. Yeah, that's not something you need when you put him out there like that.
You can't even
man
use...
too old for that, man. You gonna come on, man. It's COVID and all that stuff. Just let the man live, man. He got look. We trying to fight COVID every day.
Do we think he's moved on? Like
no,
has he overcome?
Not 20 years later.
Let me tell you something. Every time he gets around, like if they have a reunion, you know, one of his boys like, dog, forever. He's just got to embrace it and then just laugh about it
forever. Like he got in the car and the only thing that like he was like, don't say nothing. Just don't even say nothing.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to say, like I felt I was like, "Are you okay?" Like in my head, I was like, "Are you okay?" But I fully expected to get punched in the throat for saying it. So there was nothing that I could say.
Ain't nothing you can say.
That you could like. I'm sure you have teammate stories where things went horribly wrong, and you as a teammate, you just look at your boy.
There's always that when you know it's deep in a hot spot, you just leave it alone.
Like there's nothing good gonna come.
Yeah,
from
ain't nothing. Yeah, it's not really something to joke about.
Yes, it is.
It's something
like that.
Yes,
it's something to laugh about.
Yeah.
It ain't something to joke about.
You
Because
got
every
it.
time you
Got
joke
it.
about, you're gonna be ready to defend yourself.
Well, I still think teammate fights are like I'm not a fan of fights that way, but when teammates cross each other, it's pretty exceptional.
Does that happen often?
Like in practice?
Not necessarily in practice, but like locker room stuff at the professional level.
Not really.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that's personal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, again, there's another one I was involved in.
Was you at the Redskins with
Stephen Davis and
Westbrook?
and Westbrook? Yeah, with Redskins Park.
That was on TV.
It was a beatdown. Larry Michael was the one that actually filmed it because he was supposed to interview Big Country, right? That was Stephen Davis, and he name call, right? Name calling is the start of most fights.
No, name calling in that situation. If it sticks, then you're gonna get mad.
Well, it was a beatdown.
It was a beatdown.
But
homeboy was not in the position to defend himself.
True. He was kneeling down.
He was kneeling down, not paying attention. But then Westbrook's like an 80-degree black belt right now.
Wow. Like he unleashed fury on Stephen Davis.
Right. Looked like Bruce Leroy.
You can find the video. The video's still online. Just look at Stephen Davis.
Hey, Sleepy Smart, you all right?
Yeah.
We got liven you up, man.
We got.
You need some little cookies and milk.
No, I'm good.
Hey, look, man. If you're gonna be in here producing, we don't want no house cat. We want alley cat.
All I did was yawn.
Yeah, well, you can't be in here with no energy.
You just yawned a couple seconds ago.
No, I did.
Yeah, you did.
It wasn't even on the stream, so it don't happen.
Because I had
with this camera up in my face.
And he actually looked at the camera.
Right.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey, man, no, seriously. Now, here's the funny thing about the Super Bowl, right? So, Bruce Smith, they used to play this game. I don't know, it's called like Boo-Ray or some like high stakes game.
Yeah, that's Virginia. That's from Virginia Beach stuff.
Right. And Bruce was the house, obviously, because he probably was the highest paid. So I used to be that when he started winning, he would come up because like me and Keith, we sat they put us like right next to like the toilet. So he'd come up and stuff his big wad in my shirt. But mind you, I had played a lot my rookie year. A lot. And I was in the huddle next to Bruce Smith and locker next to Bruce Smith from July till just say January. So what was that? About 6 months. And, so we're down in Atlanta. He's throwing this party. So he's letting all his teammates in for free. So I get in there, go to the party. It's me and Keith and Mike Rucker. Keith Newman and Mike Rucker. Mike Rucker played. So we all met down there. And Bruce walks up to us, right? He's like, "Hey man, I'm Bruce Smith. Thanks for coming to my party." I said, "Thanks, Bruce. Thanks for having a party." Right? So, but we kicked it hard. It was at the Atlanta Athletic Club. Had a nice little time. But the funny thing about it, Bruce must have had too nice of a time because he did the CNN interview with when Trev Alberts was in media, and that was when he fell over talking about he was dehydrated. Bruce was not dehydrated. Fell over. He fell over like timber.
That's a lot of man to fall over.
But the thing about Atlanta, it was a great Super Bowl, and the city was shut down because of like
snowstorm,
sleet storm. But it was like they just weren't prepared and all this other stuff. But like Atlanta down there, it was like them fools wait for people to drive, like the few, I guess, players or people that came from out of the state that drove their nice trucks. And back then, it was rims and spinners. Man, we came out of this club, and I swear to God, there was SUV Mercedes on cinder blocks.
They got stripped while they was in the club.
Like that. like we were walking to try to catch a ride, and when and there was this wherever they had this party, right? And it wasn't on that night with Bruce Smith. It was another party, and they're all over Atlanta. But then there was a parking lot, supposedly with security, and I'm sure when you walk, it was like $20 a park, right?
There's a dude,
right,
who may or may not be affiliated with the club, who's just like, man, I got your parking spot. I got your parking spot. Yo, $20. I cover you. I watch your car.
It was supposed to be like a secure parking spot, right? I mean, there was people in like uniform, but when you come out, we come out like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. There was like a parking lot full of like high-end vehicles on cinder blocks, just propped up on cinder blocks, man.
So this is the thing. So
I'm just like, dang, these brothers they just was taking rims upon rims,
and nobody stopped them.
Nobody. Hey, and it wasn't like it was a dark alley or something, like in the hood. There's like lights out there, and if you hear, it's happened afterwards because they've had Super Bowls down there before. They just be jacking fools down there.
It was so this particular Super Bowl. And I was living in Charlotte, but going down to Atlanta. And they tell the story. Well, hey, Atlanta doesn't have snowplows and they don't have salt for the roads because they don't normally get that kind of weather. And it's a Super Bowl. People would like just sliding into a ditch and then like getting somebody to go like come pick their car up. And then show up, and their car would have no tires. Yeah. Atlanta was special. Atlanta was special.
Still is special.
And Dallas same thing happened in Dallas where it snowed at Super Bowl. It snowed during the week, like a heavy storm.
Yeah.
And Dallas was like, well, we don't have snow trucks and we don't have salt, so we don't know what to do.
No parties, no nothing. Bringing stuff in from like Oklahoma.
So
it was like an APB for like snowplows.
Yeah, having people show up, and then. They didn't know, like the stadium, like the Cowboys themselves didn't know how to handle snow.
Yeah.
So a buddy of mine who was my high school quarterback, his name was Wim McNamee, he's one of the most famous photographers in the world. He was there to cover the Super Bowl for Sports Illustrated, to take pictures. And he shows up to the stadium, and the snow on the roof slid off, buried him, broke his back. Broke his leg in 3 places because the snow just slid off and hit him and 3 other people. He had to have 3 surgeries from that. As a matter of fact, I think, Wynn always had money, but he had more money after that because the Cowboys didn't clear the dome and all the snow just slid off the side. And we were there and I got the call. They're like, man, you going to see Wynn in the hospital? I'm like, what's going on? They said, man, apparently he was imagine this. Apparently he was in an avalanche at the Cowboy Stadium. What?
That's wild.
Yeah. You can. So I sent him the video of Stephen Davis and Westbrook. Nick, I sent you the beat down so you can see what that chaos was all about.
make sure my sound's down here.
Yeah, please do that. Yeah,
it was quick. It was sleep. 1-2, good night.
And then
it looked like when old boy Khabib was beating up Conor McGregor.
Yep.
Go sleep.
Yep. It was, and the only other fight that I was really around. I've been around basketball fights a lot. Baseball fights in the locker room are renowned.
Oh,
yeah, that's a beatdown, right? But the Kerry Collins one, when I was in Charlotte, when Kerry Collins, they're at training camp, and they're in the dorm after a night full of drinking, and the linemen are all hanging out, and it's Greg Scrapanek from Michigan, it's Blake Brockemeyer, it's Matt Elliott, it's Norberto David Garrido from USC. And Kerry comes in, he had a toddy too much. And Kerry was like, hey, what's up, my? And Norberto was like, you probably should take that back. And he was like, nah, man, y'all know y'all my. And if he was gonna say it, he didn't get it out of his mouth because Norberto Davis Garrido hit him one time, gave him a one-piece, broke his jaw. Now remember, this is the time when Kerry's the darling of the city.
Right.
Like he's their quarterback, and he was just their first $1 million player. And there he is with your quarterback who can't call signals, has his wire shut, And then this is when I had my TV show, and Carrie and I were friends. She's like, well, Carrie, would you?
What did he do? Sign language?
Well, he waited. He had to wait 4 weeks until he could talk. Well, they didn't want to start him because he had lost so much weight because he couldn't eat.
That's what I'm talking about. And then, we got to change the program. The star of the show got knocked smooth out.
Well, he broke his jaw. And then that's how Steve Berline got his money. Because Berline got in, and then they did the PR, and they said, DP, can Carrie come on your show and talk about, hey, I'm not being a racist? And I'm like, well, I know he's not a racist. He's just stupid. Like, he's too stupid. Like, don't say it around a 300-pound dude that's telling you not to say it. And broke his jaw. And I was like, you talk about the violence to watch a 330-pound dude hit somebody freely. It was a new level of respect. Like, and Norberto was the happiest dude I've ever known. But I'd never seen anything like it. Yeah, usually in sports, there are rare moments, but when it is, it's a doozy. And Kerry never recovered in Carolina. He never recovered because he was at his apex before it happened.
Right.
Matter of fact, I think they had just gone to the championship game and lost to the Packers at Lambeau. And then that very next summer, crack out. So, just for the record, it happens. It happens. Jay, there's a lot of conversation this week, right? It was fun to watch the Raiders. It was fun to watch the Ravens and Chiefs. I'll ask you, are those the two best teams in the AFC?
Nah, Buffalo.
See, I knew he was going to say it.
It's the truth. Them Bills is for real. I'm just telling you, man. Them boys are for real.
What's their record?
1-1.
Who did they lose to?
The Patriots. Who did they lose to? Steelers? That was a preseason game.
It doesn't count.
No, that don't count, man. That was just a nice little tune-up. Now we about to start rolling food.
I can't even be mad at you, and I can't.
Here's the Ravens' problem. Here's the Ravens' number one problem.
All right.
Their defense isn't as stout as it usually is. They lost their best corner.
Okay.
So it kind of affects how they can play defense because Marcus Peters was a shutdown corner, and he was a playmaker. He was good for 4 or 5 interceptions a year. You lose that, you're not replacing that. And then offensively, even though they're starting to get guys healthy, Lamar Jackson still can't beat you passing the football.
Not with
he can't beat
without
you
Downtown Brown not being there to stretch where he can just step back and throw.
He hasn't shown the ability to win a big game throwing the football. He's not going to be able to run the ball to the tune that he is during the season. He's not.
How many quarterbacks?
And they got rid of Mark Ingram, who I thought had another year or two left.
And the core of the team.
In the core of the team. And he was a tempo setter, great locker room guy, and now all the running back hurt.
Okay, but how many quarterbacks who even pocket passers who can win big games in the playoffs by throwing the ball? There's only a handful.
Right, but when you don't have a dominant running attack and you can't literally only thing you can do is literally just throw to the tight end, that's totally different than saying we need Andy Dalton to throw for 250 yards. Andy Dalton can do that. Dak Prescott can beat you throwing. Tom Brady can. So forth and so on. He has not shown the ability to win a big game when he has to put it on his shoulders and be a drop back passer majority of the time.
Yeah,
that's why the Ravens.
Where do you rank him as far as quarterbacks currently? Like, where do you put him?
He's one of the top 10 or 12, but he's the number one playmaker in the league.
Right. So
during the regular season, he's the number one playmaker. But that's not going to win you. I'm talking about winning a championship. Winning games, he'll do, because it's hard to prepare for somebody like that during the season. Getting ready for a playoff game when only thing you're honing in on what they do, you're getting every single tendency. You have 16 games, or in this case, 17 games of tendencies to get that you can go back and look on to focus in on winning one game versus you only get to concentrate on him for 2 or 3 days and got to go out there and play. You can't replicate that.
So if you're doing a quarterback draft, just give me your top 5.
Taking Brady number 1.
Okay.
Actually, take that back. Mahomes number 1, Brady, Dak, Aaron Rodgers, probably number 3. Aaron Rodgers number 3, Dak 4.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't even think of all these guys now.
I was asking that.
Maybe I like Justin Herbert.
Yeah, he looked really good in week 1, not so much in week 2. So but you didn't put Jared Allen in your top 5.
He's 5B.
He's 5B. Okay.
I would probably take Allen before just because he has better playoff experience.
Where do you put Derek Carr?
Oh, he's probably like anywhere like 12 to 15.
Where would you put Baker Mayfield?
Oh man, that's a good question. I'd have to look at all the quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield. I actually like Baker Mayfield more than say Derek Carr. I'd probably say Derek Carr is a top 20. I mean, look, you're picking at hairs when you get past like 12. Now, when you really get bad is down when you're at like 28 to 32.
Well, so I would imagine that.
I mean, that's So I got Kirk Cousins at like 31. He's even. I mean, he's. And actually, you know what? I'm taking Jared Allen and Herbert out there. I'm taking Russell Wilson probably.
Well, that's where I was headed with Russell Wilson and Deshaun.
Well, Deshaun Watson, if he ever gets a chance to play again, I mean, I don't even. I mean, this is a whole segment here. How do you got a guy on your team? I guess he's in trouble in some sort of deal. He's not on the exempt list, so that means he's not necessarily in trouble. But then the starting quarterback goes out, and the dude that was probably right below Patrick Mahomes, you ain't even gonna play him. So what? And you paying him?
You paying him big money to not play, and
you won't trade him.
You won't trade him.
And
or maybe you can't. Maybe you can't trade him.
Well, yeah, you can't trade him because you're part of the reason why he's in the stuff now.
Well, there you go, telling family business again.
Well, I mean,
right? That's why he's.
And
not
then
playing.
you had numerous trade partners. Now, what you think you're going to go into the offseason next year and be like, oh, well, this guy hasn't played, so we're going to ask for more draft picks?
Aren't
I mean, you can't be this dumb.
But it's the Texans, though.
I don't know what. Ever since this has nothing to do with it, but ever since I've left, though, it's like weird stuff. I remember I left and then talking to guys, and there was a guy that worked inside with the team that brought a guy around and that literally duped like the whole team from like money, and like is in prison. Then they had like the pastor that used to kind of like come in and like say the prayer before the game. He's like in prison.
I used to tell people when I first got here.
It's the weirdest thing. And here's also a funny thing about Houston. I'm just going to keep going on. Yep. I saw Joel Osteen when he was just getting started, and it was literally out of a farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, you parked, like you drove out there, and it was nice inside. It was church. It was a church, but it was like a farmhouse. It was very small, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember.
It was a warehouse.
Yeah, Kirby John, who was our
it was
team,
a warehouse, and he
was our team pastor, was like asking guys to go, to
support
support
him.
So we all would go. Kirby John was always around. He was great, or whatever. And I remember seeing him, and we parked literally in the like, I don't know, I guess cornfield or field.
Yeah, it's field.
And then the next thing you know, Joel Osteen's on TV and then he bought the Houston Rockets, old, arena, and wouldn't let nobody go in there during the hurricane. And then my boy was on TV blinking like a mug. You remember when he was on there? He was blinking.
Oh.
Somebody said, anybody that blinks that much, they lying.
Well, they thought, like, he really thought they was going to come get him. Like, he thought they were going to kick the door down. So the warehouse in Houston, as a matter of fact, I think that building has been sold to like Fred Hammond, the gospel singer, who now does gospel concerts at the warehouse. Like you pull up to this place on Friday and Saturday night they had gospel concerts, and Joel Osteen would take over on Sundays and run church. I'm telling you, Houston, like the stuff behind the games is always more fascinating to me because it's just bananas.
The stuff in Houston is straight up hood. I remember when I first got when I got traded down there. and you come in and do the physical and all this stuff, and then back then they had, like, when you were expansion team, it seemed like we had a mini camp like every dang week, and Dom Capers was like, it was like full on training camp for like months. So anyways, once the season starts, they have you always have like a police officer that kind of works with the team. You know what I mean? And so this guy come in, he had worked with the Oilers and Astros, and so he knew the land, you know, the law of the land out there. And so he said, look, man, this is where you guys, you know, should live. This is where you shouldn't go. This, and this. And it was around Christmas time. I would never forget this. So they have Sharpstown is kind of, they call it like the, you know, a little bit more hood mall, right? So he was like, hey, I don't want none of you players going over to Sharpstown shopping. But that's where you could get a good haircut.
Swap meet.
You could get your hair braided, you know, guys that, you know, it's more of an urban, you know, mall or area. And it's not bad if you go over there during the right times. But they was like, listen here, if you're going Christmas shopping, don't go. And he was like, you want to know why? He said, so in Houston's still hot at this time, right? Or 80.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what these brothers was doing down in Houston, so they would scope out who was wealthy or got money, lay underneath your car, and have like razor blades and cut your Achilles,
yep,
and take your Christmas presents.
Yep.
Just imagine getting in there like, yeah, calling, hey, honey, I picked up the kids' Christmas present, whoosh, and just leave you there.
Yeah, because you can't walk.
Yeah,
that in the nightclubs. Like,
yeah,
again, most of the stories I can tell you, it's just it's crazy. That's why I love Jay telling. Because if
Yeah.
I told people this stuff was going on, they wouldn't believe me.
Oh man, here's the funny story. I woke up one morning, and it was right after the season. And, you know, you're kind of sore, and you already kind of did your season end, and so it was like a week later. And, you know, you get up and you're like, oh, I'm going to go work out. It was a Monday. Or it was a Monday. And it was like, again, 7 o'clock news, 7 a.m. news. Breaking news. You know, mad customer at Club Onyx drove at Club Onyx drove his SUV through the doors of Club Onyx because, and guess what? The brother was mad because the girl wouldn't go home with him. So he was waiting outside of Club Onyx, right, until it got over, and was mad. He's like, you know what? I'm just mad at the whole place. I'm driving my SUV through it.
If you're not going home with me, you ain't going home with nobody.
Hey, and the funny thing is, they did a hit in a spot there. All you see in the back of the Suburban, out of the you know, the front door of it, and the other half is through there. And then somebody's just doing it. You know, we're live here, you know, downtown Houston at Club Onyx.
And they to close it, they zoom in on the license plate.
They zoom in on the license plate. And the back end is up a little bit.
Like, it's just like, oh man,
all the yellow tape.
Like not only is this dude busted, but everybody's gonna know it.
Everybody's calling the, you know, you can get on the DMV and put in the license plate. They know it is. You're lucky you didn't really have social media back then.
Oh man, I'm so glad you told that. All right, we'll throw it to break. Who knows where we're going when we come back? You're listening to Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Eustace Body Shop, the health and safety of team members, customers, and the communities they serve is of utmost importance. All locations remain open and committed to serving customers. For the safety of customers, Eustace Body Shop has an online estimating tool to assess damages without bringing your car to the shop. When you're ready for repairs, they'll pick up your vehicle, complete repairs, and sanitize the interior before delivering it to you. Eustace Body Shop thanks you for your support and looks forward to serving you as we navigate these difficult times. Details at EustaceBodyShop.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air's motto is our family serving yours. That starts with how we hire. We go through an extensive interview process to really get to know you and show you who we are. We want to help you build a great career, be challenged, have fun, and bring home an excellent weekly paycheck. We offer competitive wages with benefits, including a day off for your birthday. Apply to be a part of the John Henry's family at jhlincoln.com. That's jhlincoln.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Wakey, wakey, no breakfast at Casey's.
Wakey, wakey, no breakfast at Casey's. Do-do-do-do-do.
Wakey, wakey, breakfast, Casey's.
Casey's new breakfast, featuring delicious handmade sandwiches like this signature handheld made with our fresh made-from-scratch dough. Buy any hot breakfast item and get a coffee for just $1. Casey's, here for good.
Tired of the ugly signs, extra expense, and costly damage from hard water? It's time to call the plumbers at Bryant for a water softener solution. Hi, folks. Greg Shop here, the voice of the Huskers. At Bryant, you get high-quality water softener products installed by plumbers you can trust, and no arm-twisting contracts that tie you down. Just one call, 467-1111, or visit BryantLincoln.com to schedule a free softener installation estimate. Come on, soften up with Bryant. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Ready for this?
1, 2, 3, up.
At Madonna Rehabilitation Hospitals, success in rehabilitation is measured in breakthroughs. Taking a step after a brain injury, feeling reassurance after a spinal trauma, saying a word after a stroke. We bring hope and healing to adults and children through clinical expertise, cutting-edge research, and innovative technology. After traumatic illness and injury, when some might say, I can't, at Madonna we work hard to say, now you can. Learn more at madonna.org.
We take our college football Saturdays so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one post-game show simply isn't enough. Join Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and DP for The Ticket post-game. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point and bring in special guests as well, with giveaways to listeners who drop by. It's The Ticket postgame with Jay Foreman and DP at Tanner's Bar and Grill. Sponsored by Action Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning and Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. Big Sky's over here instigating, and I just want to call him out on it because he sends me this, that Adam Schefter post that RG3 is continuing to train with the hopes of playing again in the NFL, and he will be open to returning to the Washington football team. See, Big Sky, you ain't gonna be. Don't wish that on us. Don't wish that on us. I see you over there with a smirk on your face, even though you're not facing me. I know you smiling right now.
Is that who's going back to the Washington?
Talking about RG3 still working out so he can go back to Washington. Big Sky, that's just mean. That's just mean.
What article did he get that? That's a spoof.
Adam Schefter. Schefter.
That's a spoof article.
No, Schefter doing his thing.
They need to pick up Cam Newton.
Well, it's Cam and Romero. Like they know each other.
Yeah, they're boys.
They know each other.
Need to pick up. That's the only place that Cam can play quarterback in the NFL right now.
I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it.
And he might be able to play there for more than 1 year.
Well, the only problem is that Kyle Allen is there, also from Carolina.
What does that mean?
Well, that's the dude that Ron released Cam so that Kyle Allen could be the starting quarterback.
I think that Ron was told, if you want your job, you need to release Cam, because Cam was out of control at that point.
Well, but he did it and got released anyway.
But Ron tried to keep him, and they released him late, if you remember. So that lets you know that it wasn't agreed upon right away.
The business of the NFL is dirty.
Yeah, like no other though.
Like
You know what's crazy about the NFL though is they have the best product, the most dominant financially professional sports league, right?
Yep.
But does business probably the dirtiest.
And don't need to.
I was just about to say it doesn't need to.
Like I would understand if the NBA was the most cutthroat because there are so few jobs.
But they're not.
Right?
The NBA is like creating leagues. They're like, oh, listen here, you don't want to go to college? Go ahead and play in this league. You're not good in college? Go play in this league.
Like, we'll make money for you.
Matter of fact, why don't we stash you over there in one of these like division, league, La Liga 3 leagues over in somewhere, so forth and so on.
That's
like the NFL
literally
is like,
what they're doing.
Yeah, there was too many jobs in NFL Europe. We want to make enough money. See you. XFL, we're gonna knock you out twice.
But what
spring league? No thanks.
So why wouldn't the NFL have a development league? Like what's?
Well, it's hard because insurance and there's just not enough good players. I mean, there's not even enough good players in the league. There's a lot of guys that are missing out on opportunities, but the NFL Europe, I think, was just a thing that where it just financially didn't make sense.
Yeah, you're flying across the world.
But if you brought NFL Europe to smaller markets, kind of like NBA, D League or whatever it is, and did it like say like in Omaha and all these like say the Chiefs minor league team would be in Omaha, something close, right?
Just kind of Lincoln. You got a building. The building's right there.
Well, whatever. I mean, you just wherever it is, then I think it could work. And even if you only did instead of 32 teams, you did like 16. So you could have combined, like say, like teams that were close proximity.
So Denver and KC
and you share rosters, so it'd be half and half. You did 60-man rosters, 30 each.
So do you really think there's not enough talent for another league? I mean,
not another professional league, a developmental league, yeah.
Well, because I mean, you think of
another professional league.
Think about guys like Taylor Heineke, DeMornay Pearsonell, who bounces around. No, you don't think that those guys with additional work could step up?
That's what the developmental league would be.
Would you put an age limit on it?
What do you mean? Like, so somebody like my age? No, yeah. I mean,
I wasn't speaking to you directly, right. Jay.
Right.
I went.
Yeah, you need to have something, but. If a guy that's like been injured like his whole career and wants to come back, remember when Andre Wadsworth came back like after like being out of the league 6 years?
Yeah.
But he had like remember he had knee injury after knee injury, staff, and then he came back with the Jets. I mean, there's always a. I
mean, Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner was out of the league. And
there's always an exception to every rule.
So if you were commissioner, would you say okay, you got to be under 27, or have had an injury or something?
Yeah, you'd have to have some qualifications.
Yeah, because it could be. I mean, we know a lot of dudes that stop playing because they think concussions and I need to stop playing, and then they decide 2 years later they want to play again.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, whatever it may be, you'd have to have something like that. I think that would just be the last little deal. I think to try to have it, if it's like like how the NBA and the WNBA have their deals, like where they're got leagues where they're developmental leagues. It would ultimately make the NFL product better. I mean, I think Kurt Warner came from NFL Europe. He's a Hall of Fame player.
Right.
Other guys as well. So I mean, it had its perks. And so I'm surprised they haven't looked at it, considering the parity in college football. So that means that when parity hit college football, that means they're not able to scout as efficiently as they could before because all the good players would be at smaller amount of universities.
Mm-hmm.
So you would like to think that they're missing on a lot of guys, right? Because you're seeing a lot of guys that went, why did he get drafted so late? This guy did, you just guys they miss out on. You'd think they would have something like that, even if it's like a 4-game season or even where they get to practice. There seems like there should be something like that.
Would it work in Omaha? Would a development team work in Omaha? Is there enough people?
I think. I mean, I wouldn't. That'd be something for the callers when they had the Omaha Nighthawks. I think that they were probably one of the most I couldn't say profitable, but I'm sure that their attendance was probably one of the better attended.
And if it's subsidized by the NFL, like as an official thing, right?
Because they're going to do it right. They're going to kind of trim the fat, so they're going to know how to churn it to where it's going to be at least, not in the red, and maybe the black, and obviously green would be, substantial. But I think they would do it right. They would they would do their market analysis, and I'd be very confident that Omaha or Lincoln would support a minor league NFL team.
What percentage of the roster would have to be Husker?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
see, most arena leagues, when they do that sort of thing, that's a big part of it, right?
And then that's what Canada does. You only can have a certain amount of like American players and stuff. So I'm sure that they would
like if there's
do something, but you can't be like, I don't know how many. You would like to always have one or two. I would not think that if they had a 60-man roster that you need to have like 10. That wouldn't be that would defeat the purpose.
You don't think there would be 10 players who?
No, but you got to think they would be other places, like teams that would be sending them there, so they would have like I guess their rights or something. Or you could say, keep them here, but you're trying to make it advantageous for teams to have these players, right? To develop these players, because the purpose of this league potentially would be to develop players.
Big Sky out there. Look, man.
Big Sky over there. He's just right next door.
Just dropping.
Look at him
big
over
sky
there giggling.
bombs. Big sky bombs. That's what we're gonna call it. He says if you're gonna do a development league, I think you should do do a high school draft, and then let the players choose between going to college or the development league.
Big Sky. See,
while retaining their draft rights for 3 years.
That is negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern is full. No way. I remember when Andy Katzenmar came out of high school. Yeah. And Chris Spielman said in a roundabout way that as a 18-year-old freshman that he could play in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably was enhanced with some stuff. They're no matter how big these kids are, how fast and developed, they are not ready to play against grown men.
And that happens in
no way, no how can any senior in high school. Now, look, there's always an exception to every rule. For every Randy Moss, there's a million Jay Foremans. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. Well,
I don't think. Randy Moss wasn't ready for the league.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If there's somebody to that caliber that's flat out unstoppable, it's just
so let's go to freshmen that made it. So you can think of the big three: Herschel, Bo.
Maybe Bo Jackson,
right?
But Herschel, from a maturity standpoint, Herschel right now is like a mature, like a teenager.
Well,
maturity of a teenager.
Well, we know why that is, man.
But like Bo Jackson, Bo Jackson is like probably the only one. Maybe Dion because he's covering. I think Dion could cover NFL guys like in 8th grade or something. He'd be at like one of them camps locking up like Art Monk or something.
Well, Randy Moss was sitting on the field Monday night and said, I can go out there right now 10 yards and get a touchdown for you.
He could probably do it deeper than that. And you want to know why? Because he's smarter than all these guys. There's very few corners that are smart players. That's why Jalen Ramsey and the Gilmore and like those type of guys, those corners are so much better than the average corner on every team, is because they're smarter. That's why you see Patrick Peterson still playing corner, because he's smarter. Most of the guys that play college and pros, they don't study enough.
Well, they
don't study enough. So how does that affect the game and affect them individually and collectively? So that means their football acumen is low. That means their consistent play is low. And so a lot of times the draft, if you look at the draft over the last like 12 years, it's become more of I'm drafting you on potential and athletic ability versus what you do on tape. That's why so many guys are missed on. That's why you see guys drafted before Aaron Donald. If you watch Aaron Donald in college, he's doing the same thing in college, or same thing now that he was doing in college.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it in high school.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. I mean, granted, he's obviously gotten better. Listen, but just
he ain't getting any taller.
And
it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, Big Sky, we're gonna go to break early so we can bring you in. He's over there typing novels. He's got the quick fingers. We'll bring in Big Sky. Big Sky Speaks next.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and joining me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie.
Andy, when people drive by your lot, they don't see as many new Hondas as normal, but I'm told you have hundreds on the way.
We sure do, Charlie. We have more than 500 to choose from that are either here or on the way. Most of them are inbound.
Do you still have that great financing, Andy?
We do, as low as 0% APR financing on select new Honda.
What about used cars and trucks?
Well, right now we have more than 120 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, and just about any make or model. And we have over 50 certified pre-owned Hondas to choose from.
Andy, that is really great news for your customers. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket, sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health. Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, helped me pay for my house.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
One host has a red beard and thinning hair. The other also has a red beard and thinning hair. One host got married over the summer. So did the other one. One is a diehard fan of a sub-500 AL Central baseball team. So is the other. Can these two radio hosts do a show together without getting confused as to their own identity? The same couple. Happer and Schaefer. Weekday mornings from 8 to 11 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tired of the ugly signs, extra expense, and costly damage from hard water? It's time to call the plumbers at Bryant for a water softener solution. Hi, folks. Greg Shop here, the voice of the Huskers at Bryant. You get high-quality water softener products installed by plumbers you can trust, and no arm-twisting contracts that tie you down. Just one call, 467-1111, or visit BryantLincoln.com to schedule a free softener installation estimate. Come on, soften up with Bryant. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Koppel Insurance Agency reminds everyone that the back-to-school season is meant to be a fun time for our kids. Please make it a safe one. Slow down through school zones and never go around a stop school bus. This message has been brought to you by Koppel Insurance Agency. If you're looking for insurance, call Koppel Insurance Agency, 402-475-3213. They are honest and fair. For a solid insurance program to meet your needs, Koppel Insurance Agency wishes the kids a safe, healthy, and successful school year.
$93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
We'll see mostly sunny skies and cool conditions here for our Tuesday, topping out at around 72. A north-northwest wind at around 10 to 15. Clear and a bit chilly tonight. We'll drop down to 43 for the low. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, staying rather cool with a high of 71. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP&J. Presented by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese.
Let's bring him back. We'll close out with Big Sky Speaks. How are you, kind sir?
I'm doing really well today.
Fire starter in here, just creating drama.
Maybe I have a little bit of spunk in me. I had a really energizing French class today.
A little feist.
Got really
French
into the
class?
medieval classics today.
Feist.
In French?
Yeah.
What were you learning about?
It's the classic of Tristan and Iser, and basically it's just like Romeo and Juliet, but the French version.
Oh,
it's pronounced Tristan, by the way.
No, it's Tristan.
Get him.
Hey, I will say, don't talk too much about your classes. The people get mad on the text line if you talk about your class too much.
We're talking about education and stuff.
I was talking about my turf management class, and they did not like that because I was talking about cutting grass.
Well, that sounds incredibly more interesting than my French class, actually.
So when you cut grass, are you going to be one of those guys that have it all they cross cut it and all that stuff?
Oh, the diagonal lines? You have to.
You're going to cut it like a Major League Baseball outfield?
He's gonna be the guy from Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah.
Where he's gonna fall in love with the girls whose lawn he cuts. And then they're gonna become friends, and then she's gonna fall for him, and then Nick is gonna get too big for his britches, and she's gonna break up with him. That's gonna happen. Just count it down.
As long as the lawn looks good.
You're so stupid. That's so stupid. That is so stupid. Big Sky. So you're breaking us down. Give us the elevated pitch for an NFL development league.
Well, the reason why I think an NFL dev league with a high school draft is beneficial is because if you look at the NHL, that's kind of the basis for my idea there. I feel you have a lot more guys get drafted purely on that potential, and then it also creates a chance for these bad teams to find guys later in the draft or sign guys if their rights expire. And so I think it creates more parity in NHL, because right now, if you look at it, the Montreal Canadiens were one of the last teams to get into the playoffs, and they made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final this year. Anyone can win the NHL any given year, and I think that's just way more enjoyable than looking at the NFL season or the NBA season and going,
And the Patriots are winning every year.
You have 2 or 3 teams that you can legitimately say have a good chance at it, and then everyone else is just moral victories at that point.
Yeah, but does any of that matter with the NHL being more watchable if nobody can find what channel it's on?
Well, it's on ESPN now, ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Do you like Barry Melrose?
I mean, he's a former Kings guy, so I have an affinity for Melrose, but he's not my most favorite person in the world.
Did you ever have the Melrose mullet? Did you ever?
I never rocked a mullet.
Nick,
you think I could grow that?
I think you would. I think you could
easily.
I think you've definitely had a mullet.
I have never.
Matter of fact, I think you should, just for the winter.
I have never.
Just for the winter.
Speaking of haircuts, so I when I got my haircut last Friday,
mullet.
I asked him. I said, Mike. I said, should I get some lines in the side of my head? He's like, F no, man. He goes, because in 2 or 3 days when your hair grows, it's going to be uneven. He's like, they don't have to come back and see me. And I said, oh, I don't want to do that.
You're going to come back and see him anyway.
Right.
In a couple weeks.
We would have tightened you up in here. I would have brought my clippers.
Yeah, we got
That's
clippers.
just what I need.
No, you
I would have put the
always trust the black man with his clippers.
And I do every other week.
Doggone, man.
Every other week?
Get him, Big Sky. Tell him he needs to groom himself better.
See, you stepped into that.
What are you talking about? Every other
You stepped into that.
No.
That's way too often. You're spending way too much money on haircuts.
You stepped into that.
There's nothing wrong with being clean cut.
All right, we'll come back. Hey, look, do you? Strict 9. We got a nice show tonight. He's bringing in Mr. Chibbs. Kenny Anderson is going to be on with Eric Strickland, Husker Hall of Fame. He'll do that right at 6 o'clock. Stay tuned.